hello. What's happening, YouTubers? We're live. This is Jim Breuer live. And before we even listen, you know we're going to get into some stuff tonight. We're going to get into a lot of stuff tonight. But let's there's a lot of directions to go tonight, okay? We're going to go after the obvious. We're going to talk about the obvious, but I want to take my time and really get into this. But right out of the gate, I would like to thank Israel for putting in $45 million of ads into YouTube. Thank you, Israel. Perhaps the first country in the world that spends money for a "we're a nice guy" campaign. Like what this is, I'm not lying. Israel government signed a $45 million contract with Google for an extensive digital advertising campaign, which includes placing ads on YouTube, okay, and all this other stuff. And the purpose, here's the purpose. The campaign's messages are designed to counter mounting international criticism regarding the war in Gaza, including reports of a man-made famine. So this is the first country in the world that I know of. And listen, this is not against the Jewish faith whatsoever. God bless you for having faith in whatever you're into. This has nothing against the people of Israel. You live there. All humans are blessed by Almighty God, in my opinion. What it is the Israeli government, this is so funny that they get together like, I don't know if you checked lately, but we're not doing good. People are they're not buying the, bombing Sudan and bombing Qatar and bombing everywhere. It's not a good look, you know what I mean? I mean, we can only say we're a defense thing for so long. So I got an idea. Why don't we buy ads in Google? Let's do it. Hey, everyone, we're Israel. We're good. Here's some, what do you, we just want to tell you here in Israel, although rockets are going off, it's all good. We're here to help the world. We're after the bad guys. We're here for you, to let you know we're here for the good of humanity. That's what we're here to give this $45 million to YouTube. So thank you, Israel, for putting in that money for all the YouTube stuff. I cannot thank you enough. So if you see an ad and it's from Israel, thank them. Thank them. You think one person in their campaign, you think there was anyone in the promotion department going, maybe we should just stop bombing everywhere? Nah, we got money. Isn't that amazing? Money, $45 million. Well, once again, thank you, Israel, for your contribution. So a lot of you are, this took me a while to really think about. Okay, this one, we're going to talk about the obvious of what happened last week. And listen, we're going to take away all there's people online, there's people saying, did you see, the guys with hand jet, did you see this? Whatever the chatter is, here's where I'm begging you to just take a couple steps back. Because you know how many messages I got? Be careful. Oh my God, be careful. Should be careful. This happened because it's freedom and blah, blah, blah. And anyone that wants to speak free, it's fear. Fear. Don't you think it's interesting that not only in America, but England, Australia, a lot of countries, for the first time in their history, Nepal just overthrown their government. The people did. We'll get into that. It's the first time that I can remember in my lifetime that people do not trust any news agency, and they're starting not to trust their own governments. And that pains me to say that even here. Yeah, no, I'm being honest. I'm a little skeptical. I know it was a couple years ago when they're like, we will determine who is essential. You will close all the businesses. We will determine who is essential. You call the Germans Nazis, but it was happening right here. Don't ever forget that. And every media outlet installed their fear. So I just find it, think about this. Just think about this. What's the most important part of your human existence? Your time, your energy, your love, your faith. All those things were attacked. And I don't care what side you lie on. This was in my opinion, this is the great monster. Sire, we have an issue. Please do tell us. Well, they're not trusting us, and the race war didn't help with the Ukrainian girl. We tried very hard to push that one. However, the white people didn't uprise. I know, the race is having a difficult time. More blacks and whites are discussing with one another. Not a good thing. Yes, sire. We need something to install fear. Because when fear is installed in the humans, they look at us for their information. Yes, I love it, sire. And think about how many of you spend 24/7. Did you see what happened? Did you see what happened? Oh my God, what happened? I'm pissed. Oh my God, and this one, and the lefties, and the thing, and the transgenders, and the Democrats, and the thing, and the Israelis, and the thing, and they got you. They got you. We have them, sire. They're watching us. You all ran to your outlets thinking you're going to get the answer you want to appease your emotions from this event. They controlled your time, your energy, your reactions, your emotions. Dude, I went to Las Vegas this weekend, which, by the way, you should just go there naked, because I've never... You go to dinner in Las Vegas and you're dropping $200-300 a couple. It was disturbing. And listen, I love my wife. I bought tickets to see the Eagles concert. $800 on StubHub. What really pisses me off is when did it become legal to buy tickets and then sell them as a scalper? Like, you can't buy tickets. You got to go through scalper organizations. So I got $800. My wife's sitting next to me. I think we're in the third song, and she's like this. After we just dropped $350 for having chicken and like a funky drink. Because that's another thing. When did these chefs, like, this is the smash burger chef, and he's the tattooed chicken making guy, and it costs, it's chicken. All these cooks, it's chicken and burgers. Stop. I don't care if he's got funky white hair or tattoos or whatever. It's not worth $300 everywhere you go. So with that said, my wife takes an $800 nap. But while I was in Vegas, I was with some other couples. And on my life, every single moment. Oh my God, they say the shooter was this. Oh my God, it's a transgender. Oh my God, Trump just tweeted this. Blah, 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 blah. What do you think is really going on? You know what? Do you think it sucked you like a vacuum? And they got your energy, they got your time, they installed fear. That's what the monsters want. How do you not see that? Don't you remember 9/11? We ran to the television. Oh my God, who do you think it was? Oh my God, they found the passport. Quack, quack. Hey, look, in the rubble, we found the passport. They're a bunch of extremist Muslims. Quack, quack. But when you watch 24/7, people were pissed. You took your emotions. They took everything. They took your energy. How many of you obsessed? You wake up in the morning to bring your child to school and you're not paying attention because you're scrolling about 24/7 about Charlie. And you're sitting there and like, you didn't call someone because you're upset. And you call someone, all you're talking about is like, I can't believe this happened. And I can't believe this happened. They got you. CNN, Fox, social media, none of it is going to give you the answer you truly need to understand this vicious monster. Your faith. Your God. I can't believe he said God. Yeah, I said it. Your faith, your God, your intuition. That's the only thing that's going to protect your life, your morality. Whenever these monsters look at me, can you believe it was a this and a this? Me personally, I don't buy a lot of the story. That's just me. I'm not saying not assassinate. I'm not saying that. But like an hour, like, okay, we got everything. We caught him in 33 hours. And we found the gun. And we got it. And everything's good. Okay. Next subject. What? Show the shooter. Oh, he's like a 20-year-old kid. Hey, I'm the one who shot him. I don't buy it. I don't buy it. And quite honestly, I don't think we're ever going to know. We're never going to know. But I do know this. Your energy is going to be sucked. Your fear is going to enhance. Your anxiety is going to go up. Your hatred is going to build. You're going to walk away from God. You're going to walk away from your morality. And you're going to allow your energy to get sucked into the monster's vacuum. That's what's been controlling all of humanity forever. Walk away. What's the worst for? And that's another thing. Don't get upset by the human beings that are saying vile, disturbing things, that are trying to make this political. Political is a nice word for division. That's all it is. It's just division. Political. This is politics. No, it's not. It's division. That's all it is. You're either on the Phillies team or you're on the Yankees team. It's a team. You pick a team, and no matter what your team does, that's it. That's it. It's my team. Doesn't matter. It's my team, and that's that. And we'll kill them. We'll fight. It doesn't matter. It's what they want. What's the Matrix say? It's either the blue pill or the red pill. The red pill is just going to offer you truth. That's it. And how hard is the truth? Once you know the truth, is it really going to affect your day if I have love and I have forgiveness and I have faith and morality and I want to give something to another human being, whether it be a smile, a pat on the back, a hug, even if they're disturbed, even if they hate me, that's the least you can give back. The monster wants he wants to bring that out of you. That's how the beast works. And the beast is working right now. Sire, we have them exactly where we want them. And we're going to get into a lot of this. I'm going to show you examples. I'm going to show you videos today. Let the haters hate. Because don't you feel we're at a time in history? Dude, I've been around the world. I spent years in Long Island, years in Harlem. I went to Egypt. I've been to almost every continent. People just want to be people. What did Bob Marley say? All governments are illegal. Well, I'm not sure if I believe that. That's okay. That's okay. Let's keep allowing 300 people to decide who gets to go to war and who gets to kill one another and who gets vaccinated. That's fine. Blue pill, stay in your world. And you'll defend that world. Red pill, I know the truth. I can live on. I can forgive. I can preach love. I can look after each other, and I could turn this noise off. I'm turning the noise off. That was traumatic. It was traumatizing. My question to you is, how does social media allow that trauma video to play that long? How is it? That was on a long time. And it was disturbing, to say the least. I don't know about you, and I know this is a little twisted part, but I saw this thing in Thailand where this poor zookeeper, it's a zoo where you drive around, and he got out of the car for 1 second, and a pack of lions got him. The lion took him down. Now, the crazy part of me, I wanted to, I was like, oh my God, and you see them eating it, but they blurred it out. Go look at violent videos. They blur it out. How do you show that? We were on TikTok Live, and they shut us down the last show. And yet you're allowing that to play over and over? You don't think that's pretty sick, if you ask me. Or was it on purpose? I don't know. But here's the thing about haters. Don't you think we're in a time where we are elevating? And what I mean by that is you're either team truth, team human, or team cynical, team liar, team hater. And that's where we're at. Let these people, we don't know what's wrong with them. I've heard people go, oh, I'm glad it happened. You know that's sick. I know that's sick. But I ain't going to allow a sick individual to infiltrate my emotions. I know that person's sick. There's people in comedy clubs right now. My friend called me up tonight. He's like, dude, the New York comedy clubs, I'm sick and tired. The comics are saying, well, if you speak hatred, that's what happens. Those are sick individuals. Those are individuals that would never look a child. See, we're forgetting about humans. Humans. We got to remember we're humans. Human first. A ball player, you can hate a ball player. I like a ball player. That ball player is a human. He may have something going on with his wife. He may have a sick child. Maybe that's why he's in a slump. You don't know. Everyone's human. And we're talking about humans here. And to have a human being and have anybody, no matter what you believe, to go, glad it happened, they're sick. Don't feed into their sickness. You control that. You control that. You can either allow it to infiltrate you, because then it owns you. You are now owned by that. Can't believe they said that's twisted bastards. I want revenge. I want to kill king. I want to take care. I want a king. And the people going, what are we going to do now? Like, we're afraid to say anything. That's what they want, fear. Fear. What'd Yoda say? Fear leads to the dark side. Fear leads to anger. You know how many times during COVID, people's fear. What do you mean you're not vaccinated? You know what? You're going to kill all of us. Okay. Okay. That's their fear. Fear controls them. And then that fear turns into hate. I hate this guy. You know how many people I had online going, your father would not be proud of you. Your wife had cancer, and you question science and the doctors. Those are disturbing human beings, and they are based out of fear. Fear that they're going to lose their job. Fear that they may die. Fear that they're going to get sick. I got news for everyone. We're all going to be dead. We're all going to be dead. We're all on borrowed time. You may plan all you want. I may plan all I want. But at the end of the day, only one entity knows the plan. And I think a lot of us know how to relate to that. So all I'm asking you is, don't get caught up in the monsters. Don't get caught up in the monsters. They're sick. All you do is send them love. You see a homeless person, do you look at him and go, oh, you sick? You're like, oh, man, you're right. I'm sorry, dude. Like, I'm glad this happened. Those are sick individuals. And these sick individuals are in our colleges. They're in our universities. They're on our streets. They're in the comedy clubs. They're online. This is a spiritual war. Do you not get that yet? Spiritual. Don't let this stop you from empowerment. Don't let this stop you from speaking your mind. Don't let this stop you from touching someone's heart and giving them love, no matter how hateful they are, no matter how much they disagree with you. That's it. You know, didn't your mother, my mom used to say, you get, I don't know if this is the exact thing, but my mom would say, you get a lot more from honey than vinegar. Which basically what she's saying is, when you feed someone honey, you're going to get a better result than constantly giving them vinegar. I was with a friend a couple weeks ago, and this person, everything out of their mouth was just nonstop negative. And I said, I gotta stop hanging out with you. And I would try to give them advice or some, godly love, like, hey man, why'd you think of things this way and blah, blah, blah. Those people, unfortunately, they're stuck in their world. Let them just be against the tube. The demons, yes, sire, we have them watching us 24/7 again. At the end of the day, this should bring people closer. Is it going to do that? I don't know. This should bring out more love. There's children involved here. There's children involved. And the people that say, I'm glad this happened, they're cowards. Would they go to that child? Would they have the audacity to go to that child and say, I'm glad this happened? That's a demon. That's a demon. When you got people launching missiles, and you got people murdering one another, and you got people killing one another and slicing one another. Charlie didn't do any of that. He questioned things. I love people say, oh, his hate speech. What hate speech? What hate speech? He said a lot of things I agreed with. I believe the college is a scam. Sorry. It's just me. Call me crazy. Send them to college, put them in debt, let's indoctrinate them. They come out, they don't know if they're boys or girls, this and that. And you learn everything on Google. You learn everything on YouTube. You know, years ago, if I wanted to learn guitar, it would take me years. Because you have to go every Tuesday, whatever day, after school, and your mom like, did you do your homework? Because you're not taking guitar lessons if you didn't do your homework. And, you know, I'd lie to her like, yeah, I did my homework. Of course I did my homework. Of course I did my homework. I wouldn't do that, just play guitar. And then you bing, bang, bang. All right, today we're going to try the A, bang, bing, bang. And it would take me 3.5 years to learn one Scorpions riff. A lot of you don't even know who the Scorpions are, but that's okay. I do, some of my fans do, and that's all that matters. We'll say an AC/DC riff. Today, kids are learning in 3 weeks because they're on YouTube. Everything you want to learn is on YouTube. Sorry. Now, do certain colleges help with certain things? Yeah, but 4 years and learning about a bunch of horses-ass stuff? You know how many people go to college and they're like, I'm taking psychology, but I got to learn how to fart Yankee Doodle for 3 semesters, and it's costing me $40,000. I got to take poetry. Like, what are you talking about? And when you send your kids to school, it's the worst food, it's drinking, getting high, banging each other, the morality plummets. It's a cesspool of madness. How many people are leaving college right now going, I just got a job worth $300,000? I would like to find that chart. So yeah, there was a lot of things I agreed with Charlie. A lot, pretty much most of it. Charlie started tapping into something towards the end, which I thought was fascinating because that was my only, whoa. And out of respect, I would never, it doesn't matter. I loved the human being. I loved the human being, Charlie Kirk. I respected the human being, Charlie Kirk. And most of you should too. Because he's a human being just trying to make an effort. Right now, there's only about 8 haters going, this son of a bitch, he hasn't batted like a goat since Saturday Night Live. So with that said, I got a lot of things to talk about, by the way. So here's another one. Always, when things go down in this massive, gigantic news spill and obsesses you, and people are in coffee shops and they're on the phone for hours and they can't believe this is going on, it's always good to look at what other things happened that day, or what kind of things they were trying to pass either in government or somewhere else. Let's take a look at, after Charlie Kirk's death, U.S. government blocked Epstein file release. Think about that. 3 hours? 3 hours. 3 hours after Charlie Kirk is pronounced dead. Hey, this is a good time to, let's block those Epstein, nobody wants to hear about, kiddies, you know what I mean? I mean, do we really need to know what's going on the island with little kids? I mean, do we have to know about that? Think about that. Are you going to stop talking about Epstein? Are you going to stop talking about it? Are we going to pretend it just, you know what? Boy, because this really outweighs that now, does it? Really outweighs it. Oh, God, this is fucking Charlie Kirk news. Where's Epstein's? Where's the files? You know what was interesting? The head of our FBI, I think it was Kash Patel. And by the way, some people say, stop doing politics. This is not politics. It's just conversation. I'm not politically affiliated with anyone. I'm just questioning life. And if you feel you need to categorize me, that's on you. Because I will never categorize myself, ever. I've never been that way from school. I hung out with the jocks. I hung out with the nerds. I hung out with every group. Every group. I never got caught up in a group. Ever, ever, ever. That's just limiting your life. That's limiting your potential. Why would I say I'm this or I'm that? You're limiting yourself. They blocked Epstein. What? See, are you Democrat? Are you Republican? Are you a Christian? Are you Jewish? Are you Muslim? Are you liberal? Does any of that matter when it comes to Epstein Islands? Does any of that matter? Because ain't nobody. Think of all the things our government don't get along with. But yet, 3 hours after this event, they blocked Epstein file release. I'll let you chew on that one. The Pentagon, from boycotting Israel, proposed a bill for Rubio. Can we talk about this guy? I live in Florida. You can't make this up. Now, I need to preface this. Listen to me. Listen to me. This has nothing to do with your faith. It has nothing to do, if you're Jewish, I have nothing but love for all of humanity. It has nothing to do with if you're from Israel. However, do you know Brian Most? Do you know who Brian Most is? Mast? M-A-S-T? Brian Mast. Do you know who that is? This is Brian Mast. I want you all to think about something here. Think about this. Think about this. Brian Mast, he's in Florida, okay? He labels himself as Republican. So if you're on that team, listen up. This guy, you can't make this up. What is he? Show me what he did. He tried to pass a bill. You ready for this? If you speak. No, go to the top. Go to the top. Yeah. He tried to pass a bill. He's a lawmaker in the House of Representatives. And he tried to bring it to Secretary of State Rubio that if you speak negative about Israel, we could take your passport away and you're not allowed to go anywhere. Think about that. Think about that. You're just having a conversation. You're like, I don't know. I mean, I get Hamas as a bad guy, but do we have to bomb everywhere? I can't wait for. We're really sorry, but your cruise has been canceled. What? No talking about like what you. So if we talk about Nicaragua, I can't stand Nicaraguans. I don't like that they're only this big. I don't like that they speak with an accent. You can travel wherever you want. You want to go to Europe, go ahead. You want to go to Italy, go ahead. You want to go to Australia. You can say whatever you want about Sweden. I can't stand the Swedes. Their chocolate is overrated. They pretend that they're the good guy, but we all know they got CERN. I don't trust that Sweden. And by the way, why is Swiss at where the Pope is? And I'm just saying, it's a little weird that they all look like Circus Olay hanging out the Vatican. It's a little weird. I don't know if you've seen them. Oh, you say that? You can go on your cruise, wherever you want. I will go to Africa, wherever you want. Talk about Israel. We will take their passports away, and they won't be able to travel anywhere. Do you hear? Are you comprehending this? So this is what I don't get. This makes me think about Bob Marley when he goes, all governments. This man was voted in. This man, how do you get there? How do you get there? So you got to be in a room, right? Because they got to come up with these bills whenever they want, okay? So you're coming up, like, hey, how you doing? What's his name? Brian. Hey, Brian, how you doing? The hair looks great. Thanks, man. Figured he's a good-looking guy. Looks like a nice guy. Hey, Brian, you got anything? Like, some guys were like, well, what do you got? I feel like we should help the Everglades since we're in Florida, People are starting to buy up a lot of land, and we're kind of losing a lot of the alligators. Yeah, maybe we'll pass something like that. Maybe we protect some of the wildlife. You know what? The chemicals in the sky, we're still seeing the lines. Maybe we really hit that harder. You know what? That's a good idea. Brian, what do you got? If you talk about Israel, we take your passport away. Was there anyone that proofread what this guy handed? Like this is something you do when you're lit up with your friends, and you show up. Like, did Brian show up the early morning? Okay, I know I got to come up with the bill, and I thought if you see bad things about Israel, you can't travel. Okay, I'm gonna go sleep. Like, what brings you to the? Does he have an assistant? Does Brian have an assistant that proofreads? No one proofread Brian Most of Florida and said, dude, are you serious right now? You know this is the First Amendment of America, so what you're saying is, like, as a Republican, you're saying that if we talk bad about Israel, we should be able to take your passport away and you can't travel? Like, is this a joke or no? And did he look him in the face and go, no, it's not a joke? What is that? What is that? Brian, can we try to get Brian on the show? Brian, can you please come on the show live, uncensored, and explain how you go, I got a great idea for a bill. If you speak negative about a certain blah, you can't travel. Do you realize the only thing missing from that is someone walking like this? That's the only thing missing. Brian must have walked in. That's the only thing missing from you giving that bill. I have a great idea. Wow. Hey, Brian, please call in. Let us know. Maybe you were hammered. Maybe you were high. Maybe you hasn't met up. Maybe it was a goof. Maybe it was a goof. But of all the countries in the world, you can't speak about the funders. I don't know. Maybe we're all supposed to wake up here, which is also going to bring us into the next interesting subject. When this all went down, by the way, right after Brian masked, what was the other thing that was shown? Can you have that back up, Kyle? What's the next one? Yeah. Passports, House approves. Here we go. After the Charlie Kirk situation, the House approves $650 million, not for veterans of foreign wars, not for people with psychological problems, not for cities that have been destroyed, not for fixing roads, not for the better of humanity, but our own government approves $650 million for Israel's missile defense. All right, I just got a few questions. Again, I have nothing against the people of Israel, and I have nothing against people that are Jewish. Zero whatsoever. My question is, you work, okay? You work, you're all working, and then you come home and they go, we're going to take this out of your paycheck. But I worked, yeah, I know, but this is us because we're the government and you trust us. Here, Israel. What's that for? Defense missiles. Defense missiles? When was the last time, just a question, when was the last time Israel was going, look out, here comes a missile? The last I checked, they bombed everybody around them. They're like, first of all, okay. Let's talk about the word defense. What is the word defense? Defense means you're in a defensive mode, okay? Which means you're being attacked, all right? Now, for those of you that will say, well, October 7th, okay, I'll give you October 7th. And we're going to talk about a clip that Charlie Kirk talked about October 7th, which I also talked about. And again, please, if you're Jewish, don't be upset. It has nothing against you. And if you're the people of Israel, don't be upset. I'm just being, did you ever see... I don't mean to make a dark situation and talk about it, but basically they look like the monkeys from Wizard of Oz flying into Israel. And they had parachutes. Did you see that? Did you see? Right there. This is October 7th. You understand that, right? So nobody saw this come with all its defense missiles, with all the technology, because they know Hamas is all over the strip. They know Hamas is in Qatar. They know Hamas is everywhere they bombed. They know it was not even in Qatar. It was a certain building. That's how brilliant Israel is. But yet, on October 7th, they didn't see the monkeys flying in with the parachutes. Nobody look here. Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Why aren't you quit? If you're from Israel, I'd be pissed. If I was from Israel, I'd be like, should we call the police? There's go-karts with parachutes. Are they with us? There's go-karts with parachutes. Should we be notifying people? I mean... didn't we just get $650 million from America? How much money have they been getting from us? You can't, all our money, this alone should tell us to stop paying taxes to fund them. They dropped the ball. You blew it. You blew it. You blew it. You're supposed to be on defense. Show the monkey on the go-kart. You can't see this coming with $650 million, not even talking about all the other money that we've given you. Then you lose it. You lost it. If I give you $8 and you can't make a steak sandwich that I ordered, well, guess what? You ain't getting any more money. It's that simple. I gave you $50, fix my car. Well, you don't know how to fix your car. Well, then you get no more money. It's common sense. We're not going to give money to the poor and build up some of the slums. We're not going to pay for the veterans whose knees were blown off and maybe they don't. You know, we're going to take their taxes and we're going to give it to Israel for their defense. Wow. Red pill, blue pill. It's up to you. I mean, where are we? Huh? Charlie Kirk, by the way. Now listen, we took a video down. And we took it down out of respect because a couple weeks ago, I was a little upset because there was a situation where I thought perhaps some of his backing was pressuring him to speak a certain way. Like I said, I believe in 95% of the thing. The human being. He's a human being, doesn't matter. But yet, he finally came out. And he put this out there. Basically, so if you're mad at what I just said, Charlie said a couple weeks ago, look what Charlie said. Look what Charlie said. I'm not blaming them whatsoever.
These guys not know this was taking place.
So I've been to Israel many times. The whole country's a fortress.
When I first heard this story, I still had the same gut instinct that I did initially. I find this very hard to believe. I've been to that Gaza border. You cannot go 10 feet without running into a 19-year-old with an AR-15 or an automatic machine gun that is an IDF soldier, right? The whole country is surveilled. And so let me just kind of go through this. We don't talk about Israeli politics very often, and most Americans don't know this. The last 9 months, Israel was on the brink of civil war. It's not an exaggeration. This judicial stuff, there were hundreds of thousands of Israelis taking to the streets because Bibi Netanyahu was basically redefining the Israeli constitution. That's not an exaggeration, right? He said the judicial branch has too much power. There were protests planned this week against Netanyahu, where they anticipated tens of thousands of people to take to the streets. That's all gone, Patrick. Netanyahu now has an emergency government and a mandate to lead. I'm not willing to go so far that saying that Netanyahu knew or there was intelligence here, but I think some questions need to be asked. Was there a stand down order? Was there a stand down order? 6 hours? I don't believe it. Israel's the size of New Jersey. When I took a helicopter ride from Jerusalem to the Gaza border, it's 45 minutes. Wow. 6 hours. They're live streaming the killing of Jews. Did somebody in the government say stand down? That is a legitimate, non-conspiracy question.
I didn't say it. But the fact that no one wants to ask that is not using your full capacity to not be emotionally involved. And I've said it before. How many countries have they bombed? How many countries have they bombed? They have bombed. Do we have that, Kyle? I'll tell you right now. They have bombed, obviously, Gaza City, the West Bank, Lebanon, Syria, Qatar, Yemen. In a week. So, and again, it's just questions. The question is, you're bombing all these countries because you say you have the intelligence to know Hamas is hiding in this small area right over there, okay? Hamas is in this little building in Qatar over there. Click. Quick, get the ad campaign saying we're good. We're the good guys. Quick, Google. Here, Google. Not to see here. Hey, thank you. Hey, Jim Breuer, good show, good show. I love it. I love what you say. I love what you're doing over there. Good stuff, good stuff. You have the intelligence, and I don't know about you, but Hamas must be the entire Gaza Strip because the entire Gaza Strip is destroyed. So there must be millions of Hamases, millions. So you have the intelligence. This is what I don't understand. You have the intelligence to know where Hamas is in Syria. You have the intelligence to know where Hamas is, the Gaza Strip. You know and have the intelligence to know the precise place to bomb in 7 countries. But you don't know a bunch of monkeys from the Wizard of Oz are flying around with parachutes for a couple hours? Now, again, I don't know about you, but this sounds like an old script. Sounds like an old script. If I want 2 people to start fighting and I set the thing, I'm not saying they set up. It's just there's questions that nobody's asking. And, hey, man. Red pill or blue pill? You're working this week, right? This is going over there as it bombs. For defense. I don't know. This is why A, we got to wake up. And B, dude, you better find faith. We got to narrow it down to God, but you also got to call out the demons. You got to stand up to the demons. The ones installing fear, the ones that won't allow you. This guy in Florida had the audacity, and his testicles must be the size of bowling balls, to come into America and say he's a Republican, and you challenge the First Amendment by saying you have the audacity to try to pass a bill or even hand it in. The fact that you even the fact that you wrote it. I'm sorry, you're suspect. How about we're not allowed to talk about America in a bad way? How about we're not? Because I'm paying taxes here in Florida, and that's another thing. Why is gas, is the economy getting better? How come gas is still over $3? It's still over $3. I thought everything was going down. It's not. It's really not. Our governments are illegal. Thank you, Bob. Damn, we missed the shot. Well, give him cancer in his toe. Shut the guy up. Listen. All the bad energy in the world, focus on love. There's a great group, my Patreon group. They travel one another. They take care of one another. They're all different ages. They're all different genders. They're beautiful human beings. Start building your own communities and turn off this noise. Turn off the monsters. Learn to forgive people. Learn to forgive. But also don't trust. Stop trusting people you've never met just because it's your government or their specialist or their doctors or whatever they are. Just ask. We've gone way too long without just asking questions. It's okay to ask questions. And if you fear that, they won. Don't you dare fear it. Don't fear it. We'll take, by the way, I am doing shows, comedy shows. New Brunswick, New Jersey, October 3rd to 6th. Tickets are on sale, JimBreuer.com. Stress Factory. Working out material, the 4th, 5th, 6th. Right? 4th, 5th, 6th? 4th, 5th, 3rd, 4th, 5th. 3rd, 4th, 5th. Also November 24th, Naples, Florida, downtown in the theater. That's the only shows. That's it for this year, period. The rest are going to be in 2026, and most likely won't start until February. So with that said, I'll open the forum. I want to thank you for hanging out. For those of you who are going to continue to hang out, and we'll take some questions from you. What do we got? Was today okay? Like, was I too much? Was I intense? Too intense? Were we okay? We got a good message? That's what I was hoping for. Okay.
Let's jump into something else. We'll have some more questions.
Yeah. What's up?
Jump into the next topic.
Oh, okay. Here's another one. Nepal. Did you know that this is crazy? The government in Nepal completely overthrew their government. But here's the crazy part. They stopped social media. They cut off all social media. Think about that. So they said, no more social media, and they burnt stuff down. They were like, I can't. What? You had like thousands of people going, what? Ah! Ah! They took out leaders in the government. You son of a bitch! Who did this? Who did this? They dragged them out. They burnt down the place. And then they, as a people, listen to this. They went on basically a WhatsApp. So they had no social media, no emails. So they went on like a WhatsApp type of thing. And they went, you know what? This is a lot of nonsense. And we want our social media back. And we can't take this government anymore. And we, the people, are going to take it back. And on WhatsApp, they voted someone in. And that's who the president, that's who's the leader is right now. From people gathering together and they voted for. How crazy is that? Show this video. This guy explains it really well because I needed like 15-year-olds to explain it to me. I didn't get it. I don't know what Discord is.
Nepal just elected a new prime minister on Discord. It sounds like Gen Z in Nepal were not happy about political corruption, Nepo babies getting all the opportunities, youth unemployment being pretty high, and of course, the Nepal government banning social media. So they started burning stuff down. Of course, the corrupt government pushed back. Thousands were injured. There were significant casualties. Like, this was a big protest. It got to the point that government officials were calling in airlifts to hop in helicopters to get away from the protests. And eventually the protesters got the prime minister to step down. And then they said, all right, well, now that he's gone, let's hop in a Discord VC and pick someone better. They had debates, they had polls, and eventually they picked Sushila Karki as their interim prime minister. She's known for being anti-corruption and not super tied up in party politics. I kind of want to join the Discord now. I wonder if she has a special role. She's like the head Discord mod.
So, I guess the message is don't piss off the teenagers and like the 20-year-olds. Do not touch their social media. Maybe that's what we need in our country. We shut down all social media and then we'll have a change of everything. Can you imagine that went down? Can you imagine that went down? Listen, I know I said it before and we talked about wars and stuff like that. At the end of the day, don't you think people, and when I say all governments are illegal, what I mean is how much longer are we going to trust who decides to bomb places, who decides to send our kids to get their legs blown off, who don't I trust people? I've been traveling the world. And everywhere I go, everyone's looking for the same thing. Just peace and trying to get past our day. Taking care of our family, taking care of our kids. How about before they send missiles, any country, before we send money, we talk about it on an open forum? Why does our government get to decide how much of my tax money, your tax money, goes for missiles? I could think of about 10,000 places where that money would be really beautifully affected in humanity. How much longer are we doing this? People get along. Give people a chance and let the monsters that want to fight, let them go fight each other. Let them go fight each other. What stops us from getting together, going on an open forum, and talking to one another? I don't know. I hope I see that one day. I don't know. Let's take questions.
Eric Peter's been asked, what can we really do to affect change?
What can we really do to affect change? Depends what kind of change you want. What kind of change you want? You want change for your own life? You know, do you want change for the greater of mankind? It's no different than this. If I give out good, you're going to be affected by that good. If I come up to you and I give you a smile, hey man, how you doing? You're most likely like, oh, I'm doing good. I've already affected you. If I come up to you like, man, and I got an attitude, or I'm eyeing you up, I'm already giving you a negative vibe. I'm already infiltrating and creating something negative, something darker. Just be positive. Find the positive. You don't know how long you're living. You know, every day's a blessing. That's what people don't understand. It's the whole, like, it's like, when you understand that we're on borrowed time, I think death really shapes people. Like, when death hits you, it makes you realize everything you thought life was supposed to be isn't. And when it affects you, it earthquakes your world. And some people go in the dark. They get resentful. They get mad. They feel guilty. They walk away from God. Others realize a blessing. You know, I've said this before. There's a silver lining in everything. No matter how dark, there's always a silver lining. And I'll tell this story real quick. 2015, okay, 2015. My wife, it's her second round of cancer. So 2012, she's diagnosed with breast cancer. We remove the breast, take out her hysterectomy, everything comes out. She didn't want to do chemo and stuff like that. She's anti all that stuff. 2014, it comes back in her lymph nodes. And it wasn't so, what was worse than the cancer coming back was they told her you have to do chemo, and that killed her more than anything. Now, two things. At that time, you know, we got three little girls. I had three little girls, right? So trying to be hey, everything's gonna be all right. And I do my best to be cheerful and all that good jazz. And I literally would go to the chemo room, and there'd be like 8 people in there, and you knew who wasn't gonna make it. And I would I would make her laugh so hard. We would laugh so hard. I'd do stuff like this, like, oh God, if I knew this was gonna happen, I would have never married you. And you know, there'd be like a couple people like, oh my God. And there'd be like, so I guess I have to order out dinner again. God. Does this mean I'm doing laundry? So I got to do everything? And I would do that over top, and people would laugh in the room, and it was a great way to get through it. And my wife would laugh, and she'd always be up. So one of the things I was getting at was, one of the best things that happened that year that really brought our family together and brought such a great energy and beauty and all that was 2015. So everyone's like, you got to get on social media and you got to start posting things. I didn't know what to do. I'm still not good at it. Like, hey, I'm not good at being fake. So like, hey, here's me and my kids. So I'm watching the New York Mets opening day. And back then, diehard baseball. I watch baseball all the time. Crazy Mets fan. And the opening day was Max Scherzer against Bartolo Colon. Bartolo Colon on the Mets is about 350 pounds. Big guy, and this is their new star. The guy's like 42 years old. And the Nationals got Max Scherzer, best pitcher in baseball. The guy's lots out. And the opening day is Max Scherzer versus Bartolo Colon. My wife is back from chemo, and she's on the couch. She's like this. Right? She's like this. She's bald. She's got bumps in her skin, and she's got no energy. And she's watching me watch this Met game like a lunatic, because that's what I used to do. And so Max Scherzer has a no-hitter against the Mets. First game of the season, 2015. Bartolo Colon has like a 2-hitter. Bartolo Colon, however, they get to Max Scherzer, and the Mets take the lead, and the Mets beat Max Scherzer. So I'm sitting there like a lunatic. I'm like, what? Don't take Bartolo out! Why would you do it? And when they won, I'm like, big bad Max Scherzer. Oh, Bartolo Colon. And I'm going nuts. And my wife is in the corner giggling. She's like this. This is what you should do for social media. I said, what do you mean? She goes, don't act, be a fan, and start posting your reaction of the games. Be a fan, though. And I was like, oh, my God. That's a great idea. Well, who knew? I started posting. I posted that one. The Mets posted it. ESPN then got involved. Local radio got involved. And she goes, you got to do every game. I went, every game? There's 162 baseball games in a year. I'm not watching every game. So that year, I would go on tour, and I'd be on stage and let them know, like, hey, man, I'm really sorry, but I got to make a video in the middle of my set. And that's what I would do. And I would make a video. Talk about lightning in a bottle. The Mets went on to the World Series that year. I had people, and I lived out in the woods. I had people waiting for my videos to pop up. And I still get people going, why don't you do the videos anymore? And I appreciate that. But not only to bring our family together, and we all became part of it, and it was such a beautiful thing. It all came from her, and her getting her ass whooped by something terrible. And it brought us together, and then we went on a trip, and we started Airbnb where no one could look at her hair, and she wouldn't feel bad being bald. Cut to, this is what I'm talking about. You're either a blessing or you don't see the blessings. When something's going to be taken away from you, you either turn your back at God or you thank God. When my wife was told, this was 2 years later, after she went through the chemo and everything, They said, hey, the cancer spread everywhere. It metastasized. And we were sitting with her, and I said, what does that mean? So, it means there's nothing we can do. And you want to talk about silence in a room. I've known her my whole life. Without her, I don't exist. And I remember the doctor going, I said, well, how long are we looking at? And the doctor goes, well, this is like February. Maybe by December. December. Yeah. Okay. And well, what happens in the meantime? I said, well, we'll have drugs to help with the pain. And as a joke, I said, can I get some drugs too? and my wife howled with laughter. The doctor didn't like that. The doctor was like, what did you? And she's like, no, he's a comedian. We always laugh at life. And he still wasn't. So long story short, and she's fine now. She's fine now, okay? Still gets treatment once in a while. She's fine. But I'll never forget, and I want you to listen closely here. When I came home that day, I got to tell people. My wife's like, don't tell anyone. We got to talk to the kids. I went, I called my best friend. I said, Larry, they just told me that D ain't going to make it. And he says, bro, you're the biggest God guy I've known my whole life. Because you don't really talk about it a lot, but I know you're a God guy. I never knew anyone a deeper spirit than you. He goes, and your wife, she's all into Jesus. She doesn't deserve that. You don't deserve this. Doesn't this make you angry with God? And on my life, I swelled up and I said, no. It makes me thankful. Because what that moment did was make me realize how much in my life I didn't realize was a blessing right in front of my eyes. Every moment with my child's a blessing. Every moment with my wife is a blessing. Every moment with my best friend's a blessing. Every moment we get to breathe and try is a blessing. Which brings it back to, don't let the screen monsters take that away from you. Because they don't want that in you. When you realize your life is a blessing and your life is more valuable than you can ever imagine. Your life, you are so powerful. And I can't stand when people say, I'm just a little guy. Don't you dare say that about yourself. Because it's you little guys that infiltrate me and you inspire me. I get your messages and then I turn around and I give it to the world. You just inspired the world. The little guy, there's no such thing as a little guy. There's no such thing as that. I'm just a nobody. Don't ever think you're a nobody. We're all powerful beings, and I truly believe that. And this world does everything they can to make you think the opposite of that. Don't let that infiltrate you and take it away from you. Wow. Let's go. That was pretty damn. Can I get an amen? Come on. Come on. No, I'm being honest. Like I'm just being honest. Listen, I ain't gonna lie, it's a little weird just talking to a camera. Like I don't know if people are going, I'm done with this crap, or like, oh, wow, that was pretty powerful. Like, I don't know. What? That's like double than we've ever had. Okay, we have another question.
Well, I wanted to bring this up. Did you see the alien stuff?
The alien stuff. I did not see the alien stuff. Video of U.S. missile fired at mystery orb shown at UFO hearing. No. And by the way, before we get into that, tomorrow night, I'm sorry, I take it back. Thursday night, I will be on Gutfeld. Okay? Thursday night, Gutfeld. Okay. Video of U.S. missile fired at Listen, I'm going to tell you this right now. Me and my friend Jimmy Shaka, when I was doing the Bruniverse podcast, and there are definite people that have said no matter what, they're going to plan a UFO invasion one day. And that's going to lead to, chaos and fear. And we're all got to, everyone's going to get together under one government. So the UFO stuff, I don't know. I don't know. Do I believe it happened? Maybe. What do we do about it? What do I do with a UFO, shown at UFO hearing? What do we do with this? To me, it looks like snow. It looks like it's snowing out. Like the UFO thing means nothing to me since I'm sending tax dollars to another country for defense missiles. That really irritates me. Really irritates me. But hey, our vote counts, right? Quack, quack. Whew. Wow. Maybe we all got suckered. All governments are illegal. We need to kill that son of a bitch. He's crossing over to white people. One love, this son of a bitch with his one love nonsense. Video of U.S. missile fired at mystery orb shown at UFO hearing. Okay, so let me guess. There's only two things that are going to come out of this. We need money to look into this. Or this is don't forget, didn't they already try this with a couple times during the Biden administration? We had a couple aliens. Do you remember that? You had Miami, the giant aliens. Then you had my favorite alien thing ever. The guy was like, he made a phone call. Do you remember this? You can look it up later. UFOs in the backyard. And the guy goes, the aliens are about 8 feet tall and they're in our yard. Like, I don't know about you, but if anything was in my yard and it was 8 foot tall, I'm not calling going, I think they're aliens. I'd be like, somebody come! I don't know if they got lasers or if they're gonna eat us. They got big dude, I'm not freaking out. I'm not a hillbilly. I got all my teeth. This is real, dude. This is real. This thing's 9 foot tall and just took off. It showed up out of nowhere. This is serious. This guy, and I think they were like Indian. They're like, there is a serious UFO. Serious UFO in the yard, and it is terrifying. So I know all creatures are peaceful, but I don't know about this UFO. And again, I don't even know if they're Indian. But yes, I do remember. Do you remember? I remember this. I remember it was during the Biden administration. People forget how crazy the Biden administration. They had remember they lost a plane, like an F something. We're missing an F-35. And then the guy's like, yeah, there's pilots in my yard. Yeah, I'm Air Force, blah, 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 and I lost my plane. Okay. Come on, man. This is all crazy. All right, so a video clip. All right, so you want to show the video clip? While being questioned, the question is, what happens after this? What do you think, Kyle? What are you hitting over there? Is this the video? Yeah. Okay. Here's the video of us shooting.
Tonight, new never-before-seen video off the coast of Yemen showing a U.S. MQ-9 Reaper drone tracking a glowing orb as it flies over the water.
It's a joke.
Now watch closely as a different U.S. drone drops a hellfire missile on that fast-moving orb.
Here's my tax dollars. Go get some defense missiles.
As a different U.S. drone drops a Hellfire missile on that fast-moving orb. The missile appearing to bounce off the object, doing very little damage. The orb then zipping away unfazed. Okay. The video from October...
Look at all these jackasses.
2024 shown during a congressional hearing today.
We need to create a new foundation where we need money. What are we going to do with the climate change money? Shut up, Harold. We're on right. Yeah, I got nowhere to go. Be careful, the UFO takeover. They tried that the last couple of years. I don't think people are ready for the UFO stuff yet. That's just my opinion. What happened with this? Where'd it go? Like, what happened after this video? They show this video over and over. Hey, the great distraction. Is Taylor Swift going to have a baby yet? The great distractions. Show them a UFO being attacked by a Yemen missiles. Oh, my God. It's just, look this way, look that way, look this way. What's going on over there? Hamas. They're all over the place. By the way, listen to me. This channel, how they get away with the things they get away with, it is a fake news channel called, what is it called? Jake GTV. I am shocked more people don't watch this. They make me belly laugh. Now listen, if you're sensitive, if your ass is tight, don't watch them. If your ass is that tight, you ain't gonna like them. But these guys, they just do yourself a favor. Go to Instagram or TikTok and look at Jake GTV and just look at a couple of videos. They make me, the first time I saw it, I'm like, did they just say that? You want to watch one? Are we allowed to watch one? That's just a screen. You don't have to. You don't have to. But go check it out. Jake, or is it Jake? Jake GTV. These guys, they make me feel so good. I ain't going to lie to you. I am not going to lie to you. All right. What do we got? By the way, I would have ended like 20 minutes ago, but these kids that run the show are like, you got to stay on for 2 hours. I'm like, 2 hours? Do you know how long 2 hours is to just create things out of your ass? You know, all they know is like logistics. Oh my God, 4,000 people watch right now. No one's turned away. Keep talking about disasters. Talk more God. They like the God stuff. They like the God stuff. Dude, I'm sweating over here. I ain't got my voice. What else you got? I want to talk to people. Unless you got another video. Is there no more questions?
Tell the audience to ask you some questions.
Huh?
Like, tell them to ask.
Ask questions if you have questions. And this is a great video too. All right? This video shows an example. Do you remember, if you're around 40 or over, do you remember when you were growing up, when I was growing up, if I did something wrong, right? And my father would go, why'd you do that? I go, because everybody was doing it. He go, because everyone was doing it? Is that right? So if everyone jumped off the roof, would you jump off the roof, jackass? No. Then don't answer me with everyone else was doing it. That's a cop-out, which goes into politics and every other thing you label yourself as. Well, my group is doing this. My group is cutting my penises off. Our group is voting a certain way. Our group is going to have a march. Our group is going to stop following a crowd. Stop it. Look at this. This is a great example. Now, it is goats. And no pun intended if you watch me on Saturday Night Live. I didn't pick this video because they're goats. Okay? Go ahead.
India. A large bonfire lit for a traditional event. And then, a man who herds goats begins to walk his flock around the fire. Once, twice, thrice. And then, he steps away. But the goats keep going. Round and round they go. No leader, no destination. Just movement for the sake of movement. Blindly following the one ahead. And suddenly, it's not just a circle. It's a cycle. A vicious, self-perpetuating loop. It reminded me of what we often see around us. In religion, in politics, in society. So many follow without question, without clarity, without understanding the true intent of the one they're following. Not because they believe, but because they're conditioned. Because stepping out of the circle takes courage. The fire in the middle may be real or imagined, but the fear, the motion, the blind, it's all too real. Ask yourself, are you thinking or are you following? Are you chasing purpose or are you circling the flame? If this made you pause, subscribe.
That comes all the way, basically, of what we started today. Are you jumping in the circle of madness? Are you taking a couple steps back and going, let me think. Let me think. And I know a lot of you are incredible thinkers. I already know you're incredible thinkers, so that I know. My friend texted me today, and he gave me something. He always gives me something beautiful to say. And if I told you about his life, you probably would sob. And what I mean by that is this human being has dealt with so much, like, really tough tragedy. Probably most people's nightmare, just being honest with you. And this guy, he loved the funny how God works, where I talk about when my wife, the last one that was out, the new one, when's the new one come out? October 4th, another one comes out. There's someone's searching for somebody. You hear that phone? That's someone, okay. This is very powerful. It's very simple. You need to learn to forgive with an open heart, as much for the person that wronged you, Forgive them. That's their own story. That's their own dilemma. That's their own madness. That's their stress. That's their struggle. It's not personal. It's very hard for people to take that. I said that part. He didn't say that part. Even more for yourself, so you can get the hate out, so you can allow love in, and you can move on. And, you know, an example of that is, it's not easy. I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy in the world. The last story I told, the funny how God works, is me talking about I was resentful for something that I felt happened to me, and I was wronged. And in the end, I forgave it all. And my wife was like, God has you right where he wants you. It's a powerful story. But a lot of us are in that scenario. Don't take things personally. Don't take things personally. Someone's got a crappy ass attitude and it's not you. They're pissed at something else that's triggering them. The more you understand that, the better you'll be able to live, man. I'm telling you. Now, yes, I'm 58. Maybe it's a lot of trauma and error, but I'm just being honest.
Couple questions.
Yeah, a couple questions.
The first one, the several events over the last few weeks, church shooting, the attack on the train, then Kirk.
Great visual traumas to control your energy.
They want to know, do you think they're trying to incite a civil war? Is this all coincidence?
It's not coincidence. I don't believe it's coincidence. Everything you see is they're trying to, again, watch this. Every video that you see, whether it's a stabbing, whether it's a killing, whether it's a shooting, whether it's whatever, nobody, and I mean nobody, not one outlet goes, how do we start to learn to start loving one another and take care of one another? Do you understand that? What do? This is because of so-and-so, and this is because of the guns, and this is because of the lunatics, and this is because of blah, 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 and we need to fight. Mark my word, with the Ukrainian girl, what they want? They wanted a racial divide. They wanted, don't think for 1 second, they wanted a racial divide right there. This poor Ukraine. Or they wanted to like clean up the city. Everything is meant for a reason. Or they would show love 24/7. You don't think that if love was shown 24/7 on every video, on every... Think about this. When you go see it, I don't understand why when you go to a hospital or a doctor, you don't see just beautiful things that make you feel good. You go in these rooms, they're ice cold, nothing's uplifting. There's no like, you go to an art museum and they got these waves in the wall. I would love to see that in a hospital. I would love to watch that 24/7 TV. 24/17 is, if it gives you fear, anxiety, judgment, you feel anger, you feel hate, that's the demons. They control the visual trauma. We shall grab your energy. We shall grab your emotions and control them. We will suck in the most valuable thing you have as a human. That's your conscious, your thoughts. Your emotions and your time. That's what it does. And the minute you catch on, it gets goofy. It gets goofy. Dude, I was in Africa for a month. Do you know how amazing it was to have no TV, no news for 5 straight weeks just being in nature? And you think your whole world is wrapped around this? Someone in Italy has no clue what's going on right now here. Someone in another country has no clue about a shooting. They have no clue. It doesn't affect their life. How does something that happens somewhere where you don't live, or not in your house, or not in your yard, or not to your child, how does it affect your life? You still got to bring your kid to school. You still got to go see your mother. You still got to take care of the one with cancer. You still got to see the kid who got diagnosed with autism. Do you still have to take care of your grandfather who's having Alzheimer's? What does any of those visuals have to do? I'll tell you what they do. They suck you and they consume you. Yes, we got them, sire. We got them exactly where we want them, full of fear and hate. Oh, I used to listen to, I'm telling you, and I hear things from music and all that stuff. Metallica had this song, and a lot of people don't even know this album. It's called Saint Anger. And one of their songs is called Some Kind of Monster. Some Kind of Monster. And I would listen to this over and over. It made me think so much. Are we the people? Are we the people? Some kind of monster. This monster lives. The monster lives only if you allow it in your life. Don't allow it in your life. You know, how many times you go on a fast? Who goes on diets? I'm fasting this week. You know what? I'm going to fast for a month. I'm going to eat right. Do a media fast. Do a brain fast. Turn everything off for a month. Can you do that? Or are you addicted? Are you addicted? You don't think it's addicting? I guarantee you 99% of the people watching right now can't last 24 hours. Matter of fact, I'll give you 8 hours. And you can't go like this and go on one social media thing. I guarantee you. I guarantee you a lot of you can't turn on the news. Guarantee you. That's how addicted you are. Are we the people? Some kind of monster. This monster lives. It lives, and you allow it. Don't allow it. Stop allowing it. Blue pill, allow the monster. Red pill, you just get the truth. And once you know the truth, it's almost comical to see how sick and cynical it all is. And you also see how powerless it is. It's powerless. Stop giving it power. You're feeding the monster. You're giving it more energy. It formulates bigger and bigger. It's a big ball, and you keep feeding it and feeding it. Stop feeding the cancer. Stop feeding the monster. Yes.
Mike wants to know.
Mike.
Mike, our Mike.
Oh, our Mike?
Yeah.
Is he going to bring up some stupid baseball thing?
Yeah.
I don't watch baseball, Mike. I don't care. I don't care.
He was just asking if you're tired of every September the Mets falling apart.
I don't care. I don't watch baseball anymore. I stopped after COVID. I don't watch any sports anymore. I'm just being honest. Do I love ball players? Yes. Do I root for ball players? Yes. I don't care about any corporate teams, period. I don't watch football. I used to always watch football. I don't watch baseball. I used to always watch baseball. I don't watch any of it after COVID, period. Period. I just don't. I'm not giving them money. And I told you before, I couldn't go see my favorite team because I wouldn't take a needle in me. In an outdoor stadium. So no, some of us made a stand, not saying, hey, look at me. And some of us will continue with the blue pill. Sorry. I wish them well. I love Pete Alonso. I love I love McNeil. From some of the Mets I remember, Juan Soto. It's just, once in a while I'll see in a feed, I'll stop and I'll look and yeah. Do I care anymore? Do I get emotionally involved? No. Would I like to see them win the World Series? Absolutely. Am I going to celebrate and wear their shirts and pump around like that? Because Mike, I know you're a big Yankee fan. I don't give a rat's ass. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm just being honest. Where are we at? My back is killing me. I'm 58. You got me standing here for almost 2 hours. Are people still watching?
Yeah. There's
really?
There's 3,000.
All right, so we dipped 40. Okay.
All right. Last question.
Last question.
This is a fun one. Did you watch that new Happy Gilmore?
I did not watch the new Happy Gilmore. However, I told you this. I went and saw the Adam Sandler tour. It was so entertaining. It was so funny. My daughter and I are still imitating Kevin Nealon's set. I don't know how to describe it. And even Sandler had these 2-3 bits that I can't get out of my head. He had this tight socks bit that was so silly and funny. He did this bit with Kevin James that was just so fun. What's his name? Vanilla Ice coming out. Sandler did this bit to I forgot what it was called, like bad. He did this whole thing like, ooh, like bad. Go see that tour. Rob Schneider crushed. But at the end of the day, no, I didn't see Happy Gilmore 2. So with that said, listen, I haven't done stand-up in a long time. I have no clue how these sets are going to be. So these are the best times to see me because I really don't know what's going to happen on stage. So October 3rd, 4th, 5th, I'm going to perform in New Brunswick, very intimate, little tiny comedy club. And then November, I will be in a theater in Naples, Florida. It's on JimBreuer.com. And then I'll be announcing a tour very soon for 2026. And I believe it's like almost 60 cities between February and the first week in May. So there's a lot in there. I can't thank you enough for just watching today. I can't believe you watched for that long. And just hang in there, man. Don't let the monsters get you. Be kind to one another and realize life is a blessing. It's a blessing, all right? Stay out of trouble. Don't pick your nose in public. And we'll see you next week on Jim Breuer Live.